Let me show you one of my favorite ways of using cursor. And this is something that has literally 10x my productivity. Has been seismic in terms of how much I get done just by using cursor. I think if you're watching this video, you probably know what cursor is. If not, let me know in the comment section below. I'll see what I can do about a very detailed cursor tutorial. But that said, assuming you know what cursor is, what most people do and where most people spend their time when they open the cursor, like you see here on my screen, is on the far right side, far bottom right side of the screen. This is essentially the prompt. This is what we're most likely used to from ChatGPT, from Gemini, from Claude. We are used to coming in, putting in the prompt, having the intelligence go do its work and give us a result. But what I'm here to say is that that's just one way of using cursor. And there's something that you can do, focusing not just on your prompt, but your workflow to amplify your results. And that's what I want to highlight here. So what you're going to want to do is think about the workflow in terms of rules. What are you trying to achieve? So I have this 3-step workflow. I'm going to go through it at a very high level. You can copy, iterate through it. I don't think I invented this. This is something we've been doing for a long time, but it's a game changer. So here we have in cursor, the cursor folder. You're going to want to create these MDC files, which is essentially markdown files unique to cursor, and have 3 rules. One is your goals, the next is the task, and the last is process. And what does this mean? Your goals is essentially a set of instructions you're telling cursor to take in your ideas and to formulate goals out of those, to deconstruct that into goals. And this is how humans think, this is how we behave. I don't think this is anything revolutionary. And what I will encourage you to spend as much time, and I can leave this in my GitHub if you want a copy of this, spend as much time thinking about the instructions you put in here. And you can have different set of goal rules based on what you're trying to achieve. For me on this channel, I do tutorials on tech, on AI, on data, on analytics, both on this channel and also professionally. That's what I do. And so really sitting down and thinking in terms of who is my audience, what am I trying to achieve, what style is my presentation going to be about, what are the results, how to structure this, what is the objective of everything I'm trying to do, who are my intended audience, how long should it be. This is essential, and you cannot afford to every single time to type this into the prompts. It just will not work. So I would encourage you to really think about putting that into an instruction document, in this case, which is a rules document. Now, once you have that, you can imagine that this goal and the way you're going to use this, let me just bring this here as an example, is I can reference this into my context and instruct cursor to say, use this to create a tutorial on Claude. Just as an example, and I've done this a couple of times. Okay, so now I'm not essentially coming in and typing all my instructions from scratch. You set this goal instruction once and you reuse it over and over and over again in a workflow. And based on this, you can see it's asking who is the audience. Are these developers, are these business users, are these technical writers? Let's actually make this easy. I'm gonna just go ahead and open up Whisper. Okay, so the goal here would be for technical audience, mostly developers. Keep it at a very high level, between 10 to 15 minutes. Be very detailed. Show all the steps by step ways of using Claude. Okay, and so that puts that into a prompt. Now I can go ahead and fire this off and let the intelligence do its work. So what I'm not doing is trying to recreate this goals document every single time. Once you have this, you can reuse it. Now, this instruction, you can see it's essentially saying, once you process that, output the files into this folder. So in here, in my cursor environment, I have a folder called goals. So it's going to take this prompt, it's going to take the very generic ask that I have, and it will create a goals document for me. I just did one very recently on cursor. So imagine I was doing a tutorial on cursor. It will create a goals document for me, very detailed based on whatever my prompt is. Okay. So that is running, and in here it would essentially say what are we trying to achieve. We're trying to do a demo. Who is the audience? What features to highlight? Now this gives me a very elaborate piece. Let's see the Claude one generate here, and we can take a look at that too as well. But this is, you're not thinking in terms of just agents, you're thinking in terms of workflow. And this is the elevation that people need in this space, because Cursor is so powerful. I'm not worried about the models again. I'm not worried about the agents. I'm worried about the workflow I have. So I can solve problems at scale. I can create one tutorial or 100 tutorials and have it in a consistent way. So I can build one app or 100 apps and have that in a consistent flow. And I think thinking in terms of workflows, this is what differentiates people who just come in and prompt all day in Crystal versus people who can scale and have seismic leaps in their usage of this. So here we just completed this. Now I have a very detailed goals outline for a Claude tutorial, assuming that that's what I was trying to do. Now you can guess. The moment we have this, I'm going to take this goals, of course, review it. And I'll encourage you to spend as much time with your goals as possible. It's just like in life. I think if you don't take the time in your life to step back and figure out what your goal is, where you're trying to be in life, your 1 year, your 6 year plan, your 5 year plan, your 6 months plan, you're going to be way off, because if you correct the vector at the beginning, you end up in a good position. But if your goals are way off, you're going to end up building an app or solving a problem that nobody cares about, right? You're going to end up vibe coding for hours and hours and hours on something that is not useful. So really thinking about your goals from the beginning, to me, this is it. This is where the money is. And I'll put as much effort into this as much as possible. So now I have the goals. I can reference this task list. I'll say use this. So it takes in the goals. It understands the way I want the task to be generated. And now I will say generate the task list for me. Okay, so that's essentially all we're doing. Now we're building a workflow. You gotta think about workflows. I cannot emphasize this enough. To get 10x productivity, 100x productivity from a cursor, you cannot just prompt. You can't just open it. The last thing I want to do is writing prompt in here. Like, I would avoid it like the plague. You only write prompts if you have to. Minimal prompt if you have to. Okay, so this is giving me an idea of it. So let's do go, and it should take those goals and generate the task. So I have goals, task. I'm just going to process those tasks. And we want something here around Claude. So it's going to essentially give me a very detailed task list on Claude while this is processing, because we're doing this live. Let me open one I did recently here on Cursor. So let's say if I was doing a tutorial on Cursor, it will essentially give me the high level script, because I want this about 15 minutes. All of this is generated by the AI. So here is the detailed tutorial. Here is what is needed. And I actually have it in a way that, and the reason why this is important is, once we have our task, now we're going to have agents process those tasks. So having the agent iterate and say, okay, set up edits or demonstrate this, the agent is going to walk through that in a very easy way. With these agents, you don't want to give them too many things to work on. The context becomes too big. So break down the task, have very detailed task, and an agent can work at one task at a time in a very limited scope. That's how you get the most productivity out of agents. Okay, so while this runs, go ahead and close this. So I think that made some good progress. Let's take a look at this. So now we have a task Claude tutorial, and again, very, very detailed. So we're going to make a tutorial about Claude, and it's essentially giving us the very comprehensive task. Extract key things from Claude, design the demo environment, create a sample code base with Python, and it essentially goes build the tutorial artifacts. And these are all the different tasks that we're going to have to accomplish to do a Claude tutorial. Now, I'm sure if you guess and say, all right, I see where this is going. If I have a task list, now I'm going to have the agents go work on the task list, and you will be 100% correct. Because now what we're going to do with this, I can simply reference this task list, that has been generated, review it, add as many details as you want, simplify it if you need. And this is what is needed. I'm not sure why it says it's going to take 21 days to do it. It's definitely not going to take 21 days. And depending on what I'm doing, I could throw some additional context. So I have rules for how I want my tutorials on YouTube to be. I have rules on the tech stacks I want to use. I have rules on the styling. I have rules if I'm doing a Snowflake or the project structure, or if I'm writing a Medium article. So this is where you want to spend time really thinking about your goals and the rules. To me, as developers, because writing code now is commoditized, the intelligence will write code faster than you can even think. That shift, that leverage goes into people who can plan, people who can build structure, people who can build workflows. And I think this is where, if you're not investing in this in your personal life, you're going to be missing a lot, because the models are going to be there. The models are going to be way intelligent. What they don't have is the workflows. And maybe they're going to have workflows in the future, but you can start thinking of your workflows across your entire life. Today, this is where the value is. So I'll reference this to say this is a YouTube tutorial. And let's go ahead and say work on this task, assuming that the task list is good. And if you want, you can have multiple agents working on this. If you don't have Max, or you don't want to use the context in Max, which I tend to use a lot, you can then have cheaper, smaller models go work on this. So this is, to me, workflows is how everybody should be working in terms of Cursor. Now, one of the things that Cursor is, you can see essentially reading the task list. Cursor recently introduced this idea of to-dos. So it's going to create the to-dos, and now it goes through working each to-do. So here it extract key themes and developer points from goals document. So that's a to-do that Cursor has come up with. Then create a minute by minute tutorial, find feature demonstration order, and identify transition points. And I don't want to read all of this. I can see it on the screen, but this is it. Leave this, go out, grab a coffee, relax, go to the gym, work out, read a novel, work on something else. This is what vibe coding really is about. And I don't think it's actually vibe coding. I think vibe coding is a misnomer. This is what vibe problem solving is about. Because now you're focused on problem solving. The code to me is irrelevant. I don't care about the code. The code can be regenerated at any point in time, right? What you want to care, what you care about, or what you should care about is this workflows, is the rules, is the documentation. That is I think most people still think they're coders, they're programmers. I couldn't care less about the code anymore, right? I can write code if I needed to, but because the models can write code better than me, why should I rely on that, right? So this is where really thinking about your goals and the problems you want to solve and the workflows you're going to use, that is the money, okay? Hopefully I'm not preaching here, but I just think this is such a game changer that people who adopt this will see the massive leverage. Whether you're doing tutorials like me, whether you are building an app, whether you're trying to build some new solution for school, for your company, whatever it is, thinking in terms of this 3-step workflow becomes key. So now it's creating minute by minute tutorial. It's taking a little bit longer. Now you might say, well, Fro, what's happening to the tutorial? So let me go back here. Again, you have my rules are under the folder, but the first step is the goals are in the folder. The task comes into the task folder, and this is by the agents will get put into the respective folder here. In this case, this will be to all be created into this folder. And whereas the projects themselves will be in my folder. So the actual code, the actual SQL, Python, and all of this stuff that's written will be in this folder. So it might take a few minutes or so to run. I wouldn't keep this running for that while, but just wanted to get you the point that think in terms of workflows. If you're not using Cursor in terms of workflows, you're just leaving money on the table, or you're just tokens or burning time, which most people have. And I think this is the way I've used to my productivity on workflows. I can't tell you how many apps and problems I solve on Cursor. Just use 3-step formula: goal, task, and processes that execute on those. It's unbelievable. It's unreal. So let me know in the comment section below, is this your workflow, or are you the person who closes up Cursor and tries to type your way out of every single problem here in the prompt? Is that you, or do you have better optimized ways of doing it? I want to know in the comment section below. So Jump in, let me know your thoughts. I think this is a game changer. Almost all my workflows are moving into Cursor or version into Git, and I think the results are unbelievable. So wanted to share this with you guys. As always, hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for watching and sticking to the end. This is for here with ThruDev. I'll see you in the next demo.